Welcome to the Reliables, a live stream series here on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel on Twitch, brought to you in partnership with Pinnacle Entertainment Group, the makers of the Savage Worlds game system. I'm your host and GM, James Durham. The Reliables is an interactive tabletop RPG show where you, our audience, have an influence on the action in progress. And you can do that through our incredible store mechanic. And not only does that let you alter things, add things, and put your own little bits into the show itself, it also is how you support this show we can keep doing more episodes and more fun Zoe stuff. So why don't I take a second to tell you about some of the cool stuff we have in the store. At the $5 level, we have the shout out. If you want to tell a joke, give some advice, point something out, say anything, maybe even immortalize a birthday wish to somebody or something crazy like that, that is your key in for just $5. At the $15 level, we have a Benny saved is a Benny earned in the game of Savage Worlds. Bennies are the currency that keeps characters alive, and those are used by our cast keep themselves out of trouble and out of death's grip. On the other hand of things, you can also at the $15 level jam up the works and give me bennies that I can use to make things more difficult for them and keep my bad guys alive longer. You can also, on over and push any character on the screen, any one of the cast members, in a direction on their slider on the pilot avatar one. If you decide you want them in a certain direction, the power is entirely in your hands. For draw it out, one of those players gets to draw 2 initiative cards instead of 1 during the initiative draw. It gives them a little bit of an advantage on deciding when they're going to go. We've got one of my favorites, the System Shock, where we randomly determine where everyone ends up on that pilot avatar slider by a die roll.
Boo.
Oh, we've also got Dance Magic Dance. If you just feel like, we need to be puppets on strings for your amusement, which, we fully support being puppets on strings for your amusement. We exist solely to dance for your entertainment. There is a story time where if you want to pick out one of the cast members and have them tell you a little bit of a story about their character's background or something that happened to them, it gives a little bit of an improv moment to one of our cast members and is always great fun. We also have, on that same kind of idea, a reliable source where one of our cast members is selected and that person gives a reality show style confessional, talks about the situation, the day, the game, whatever it is that happens to be on their mind. They get to talk about it. One of my personal favorites and an all-time favorite is the Rule of Cool, where physics be damned, nothing matters but doing something crazy, wild, and absolutely cool. And each player comes up with their craziest idea, and then you guys get to vote on it and decide who succeeds automatically and who still has to try at a horrible, horrible penalty. And now if you feel like you just have to add something, whether it's a transforming alcoholic stagecoach, a sentient flood that includes bushes and beavers, don't ask, you can bring out the hack attack and add anything that you want to the game. Right there, you just drop it on us and we're stuck dealing with it no matter what it is. So those are all the fun ways you get to interact, and they are also how you support us and keep us on the air and keep groceries in our fridge and our electricity bills paid. So we appreciate any and all support. Now, why don't I take a second and introduce our cast members to you. We're going to start with Bryce Bebop, who plays the daring Vector Reigns, space hero, war veteran, and holovid star. Brash, cocky, and daring, Vector believes that, in fact, he should be leading this team. Sean Franklin is John Stone, cyborg, badass, team leader, and renowned hero of the metaverse. It's up to John to forge these misfits into an effective team. Xander Layden is Paul, nearly 9 feet of rock-like material containing one of the most brilliant minds to ever exist. Paul's insatiable curiosity drives them to seek out and explore all of the mysteries across the dimensions. Helen Roundhill is Princess Hedgehog, the last remaining goblin from their dimension. Princess Hedgehog is a powerful practitioner of magic who greatly misses being the center of attention from their adoring fans. Together, they are the Reliables, traveling through time and dimensions to make the universe a better place, one mistake at a time. Before we get started, let's talk about the game system that we use on this show. Like many tabletop RPGs, Savage Worlds uses a dice system. The better a character or creature is at a skill or attribute, the higher the die used in conjunction with that roll. Success for many basic tasks requires a roll of only 4 or better, with those that exceed that target number by 4 or more called raises. In addition, almost every die roll in Savage Worlds can ace. This is when the dice roll is the highest possible number. When this occurs, you get to roll it again and add it together, potentially triggering another ace. Initiative in Savage Worlds, or determining who goes when within a turn, is determined by a deck of playing cards, with those drawing the highest acting cards going first. In the case of a Joker, not only can the character take their turn at any time, including interrupting actions in progress, but any skill or attribute rolls made by the character within that turn gain a +2 bonus. Overall, Savage Worlds is fast, furious, and fun, just like the creators intended it to be. I hope you enjoy the show and the game system. In this episode, we are also going to be using avatars. What is an avatar? Well, they're beings of great significance who share a body with the mind and soul of a pilot. In this case, our heroes. The Reliables, while within the avatar, the two personalities exist together, and the control often changes. This is indicated by a slider, which you'll see on the screen. The slider has 3 positions. Avatar, indicating that the avatar personality is in control. Pilot, indicating that the pilot personality is in control. And center, where the two personalities are mixed. Where a character is on the slider also determines which character sheets that they get to use for their attribute and trait die rolls, and what special abilities they can use. Our heroes can use their bennies to move themselves on that slider, as can our audience with that shove over in the store. If you want to push them in a direction, you get to do that. And then, of course, System Shock just puts them in an absolutely random place.
Hey, James.
Yes.
Where are you on your slider?
Everywhere, all at once.
Okay.
Full-blown sadist. See, it's the laugh. The laugh sold that. Nobody's going to argue with me on this.
Well, it's the laugh plus the beard. That's just mean and evil.
Wait, can you do the laugh and stroke the beard at the same time? Inquiring minds.
Not on demand. I'm not actually an actor.
Okay. Chat's got a chip in for that.
Yeah, so new item in the store called Evil Laugh, and that is where James just does his best evil laugh while stroking his beard for a minute.
What price point would we put on that?
I mean, it's a great value no matter what.
It's kind of priceless, but
it's a great deal. I swear.
Oh my. Hey, let's take a second and talk about the avatars that are in this particular episode. Vector Reigns has the avatar of the daredevil Chuck Kenny, who wears his scars from trips to the ER as a badge of honor. John Stone has the avatar of Big Larry Walker, cool under pressure, always there for his friends, and two-time All-City Pee-wee Judo champion. Paul has the avatar of Gabe Jennings, child genius, prodigy, and inventor. Gabe loves to take things apart and sometimes even put them back together again. Princess Hedgehog has the avatar of Glenn Nordaham, the weird kid. Glenn has passions for dozens of subjects, just not ever for very long. Full of energy, wild ideas, and always an inspiration to their friends. Together, they are the Monster Hunters Club, and they're on an adventure. Last episode, things took a turn for the worse. Mysterious events presented themselves. Members of two feuding families working together, a popular campground closed down and abandoned in the height of summer, and then an old cabin in the nearby woods, where individuals clearly under the control of the Galvanic Collective were up to something. Our heroes were captured and put into a dark cellar, but managed a daring escape into a nearby bayou, only there to encounter a monstrous alligator. Using the powers of Princess Hedgehog, Glenn was able to befriend the alligator, naming it John Simon Stone, sending it to protect the monster hunters from their pursuers. Finally making it out of the bayou, our heroes got some much needed sleep on the beach at Dead Man's Cove, only to be awoken by the sound of dynamite. Creeping closer, the monster hunters have found the villainous Galvanic Collective, using the controlled bodies of the park ranger along with the Whitfields and Stearns, attempting to blow open a passageway into the rocky ridge, right near the X marked on the monster hunters' treasure map. And this is where we begin. The smoke is still in the air. Your ears are still ringing from the dynamite explosion. And again, the Stearns and Whitfield start setting up more dynamite on the ridgeline. Gabe, you are pretty sure that this isn't the exact right spot. They're off a little. It just doesn't match quite up with the map. It should be a little bit further inland and maybe up that ridgeline some.
Guys, I know this doesn't look good, but I think they might be a little off on their location where they're blasting. I think if we go a little inland, we should actually get to the correct location.
Wait, does that actually make sense? Because, like, would the pirates have gone inland? Because they're pirates. Like, if they have a ship, then it would need to be by the water, right? So then if they're inland, that means that they dragged the ship up on land. Does that make any sense? Unless it came out of a cave system. What?
Glenn, they can't bury treasure in the water. They have to come on land sometime.
I mean, if you buried it in the water, it would be really hard to find.
Yeah, but then getting it back would be pretty hard too, right? I mean, they didn't really have diving equipment. Well, no, they had some really cool diving equipment back then, actually.
Yeah, like the ones that was basically just like being in like your own like sarcophagus almost. Like you could barely move, but it was pressurized and like closed up with rivets. And then you were down in the bottom of the ocean being like, is this what death is?
Pirates don't have technology, guys. They just had basic stuff.
I don't know. I read somewhere that pirates had like 5 different kinds of marriage, which is kind of interesting. And I feel like that's a lot more advanced than we are. So maybe they had other things that were kind of cool.
Who wants to get married? Gah.
Well, it's actually, I understand that it was kind of like a financial arrangement because like if you were married to somebody else on the ship, then if you died during something, they got your portion of the plunder, which means that like, you know, it created a sense of camaraderie.
Huh.
And I mean, if somebody wants to give me their treasure, then maybe I could get married one day. I don't know. But that's kind of gross, too. Then you have to birds and bees. I don't know.
Not the birds and bees again.
Well, I'm sure at least one of the 5 forms, I mean, if there's 5, it didn't necessarily have to involve that. I mean...
That's true. Yeah. They could have just been like snuggle buddies.
Yeah, little hammocks, you know?
Okay, guys, I'm going to barf. Can we talk about treasure?
We were talking about treasure. We were talking about how pirates made sure that their treasure went to the right person if they died.
And we've got to get to that treasure before the bad guys do.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
I zoned out for a little bit, but if they put the treasure underwater, it would be sunken treasure, not buried treasure. You can't bury things underwater. You have to bury them underground.
Oh,
where's
I
the
guess that's
Gabe?
true.
You can be buried at sea. I mean, that's how I want to go when my time comes.
Gabe, where's
you want
the
to be buried at sea? But then, like, the fish will eat you.
Actually, on second thought, no, that sounds really unappealing. I don't like thinking about that kind of thing. Yeah. No.
So then would you want to be cremated instead? But that's kind of gross because then you just turn into ashes and little bits of bone because it doesn't actually burn everything. I read that somewhere.
Glenn, why do you have to make everything weird? We gotta find treasure. Okay?
Probably gotta be cremated, though.
You know how many Atari games we can buy with that treasure?
None, because it's all going to a Millennium Falcon.
No, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, a sky burial sounds kind of metal too. I mean, but really the whole subject is pretty macabre, and we should focus on more life-affirming things like getting rich. That's why I like to think about.
Yeah.
But
life does get a lot easier if you're rich.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
Burial
can we go
in
get rich
space.
now?
Yeah, we should find our way over to the actual spot.
Okay, so are we following you? Do you need help? I can hold a map. I'm good at holding maps. I held a map for my mom once when we were on a road trip, and we only got a little bit lost. So if you want help, I can help you.
I mean, that'd be super helpful. I mean, there's not a whole lot of landmarks on the map, but I think I've got it pretty well triangulated. We want to head 78 degrees north from where we are, or is it west? I don't know. I'm not really a maps guy.
I'm not really a directions guy.
Come on,
Yeah.
Gabe.
It's that
you can
way.
figure out anything.
Yeah, but this is two-dimensional. I'm more of a tactile, hands-on. You know what I'm saying. You
Glenn
know.
said it was that way though, so I'm gonna start walking that way.
Careful, Chuck. There are the Sturms and the Whitfields and that park ranger about. You can't just go walking out in the open, or they might see you. And it's still kind of bothering you what happened in that cellar.
Well, I've got enough, since I'm in the middle, I've got enough John Stone access that I can look at that map and try to figure out a way that's going to try to help us avoid detection. Avoid.
Not bad, John. I think I'll take a common knowledge roll from you if you want to try that, or you can also try survival if you have it, or you could try academics if you have it.
I got common knowledge. Yeah, I know common stuff. Actually, Larry, because he has been training under that Sarge that was in Vietnam, he has survival of 6.
Oh, that's not a bad roll there. We'll take a D6 and a D6 from Larry, checking out the map and the lay of the land to figure out a way to go. Even with the -1 for being a center, that's still a 4, which is a success. Where you look around and you think that maybe if you move a little bit to your east and use some of that brush for cover, it looks like there might even be a game trail that goes up on that ridge line, and you could slip right around these guys.
Okay, Gabe, check it out. So east of us, and the sun just came up that way. That seems like it'll be a really cool way that leads us right past those guys. They shouldn't even be able to see us if we stay down low.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's do it.
That seems like a good idea.
Like how low?
All
Like
right.
belly crawl low?
Probably. And Glenn, that means
Or
you have to
like
be quiet,
Milo,
okay?
'cause I'm pretty short. What?
That means you have to be quiet, okay, Glenn?
Okay, I can do that. I can be really quiet.
But can you
I can be so quiet. I can be so quiet you won't even notice that I'm here. One time we were at a sleepover and we were playing the game where whoever talks first loses, and nobody even
And you
realized
lost,
I was
didn't you?
talking because I was so quiet. No, I was so quiet nobody realized I was talking, or they were ignoring me. I don't know which.
go either way?
I mean, you won either way.
I did.
Yeah.
All right, you
Which is
begin
pretty great.
creeping forward, moving around the brush, and then following this game trail up there. About halfway up the game trail, everything shakes again, and some dust falls from the ridge side as they detonate more dynamite below. Maybe the sound is helping cover some of your progress. That, and they seem very focused on blowing a hole in the ridgeline. They've made quite a bit of progress so far. But soon they are out of sight as you make your way up the game trail, and following the map that Gabe has, you find yourself that it has to be the exact right spot. The only problem is, there's no cave, no secret entrance, no marked stuff on the ground. It's just more the same that you snuck past on the way up here on the trail. You're just on a trail beside the rocky ridge line with nothing.
Do you think there's gonna be an X on the ground, like there is like on the map? Like there's like we're gonna walk up to it and there's just gonna be a big old X? And like if there is, how come nobody's ever noticed it before and just thought that looks like the X on a treasure map? We should dig there. Like,
Gabe,
you know?
where
It
is
could be
at, Gabe?
overgrown.
Oh, it could be overgrown.
Hashtag
Yeah.
draw thanks for the fun.
Oh, thank you, chat. Thank you so much. got ourselves another draw in the store, guys. When we do initiative, remember you've got one of those available if you want to draw an extra card.
Wow.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Chad. Gabe,
Okay, but like, what?
Gabe, you had the map. You said it was going to be here. Where is it at?
Well, it's probably beneath us. I mean, maybe we should start digging.
Oh, okay. That
Did we?
makes
We brought
sense.
shovels, right?
You brought a couple of folding shovels.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the spot. We might have to dig kind of a wide hole just in case it's not completely accurate. But I think we might be able to. If we dig really fast, we might be able to get there in time.
All right. I'm going to start digging. Gabe knows what he's talking about.
Cool.
All
So-
right. You put your back
Time
into
for
it
your
and start
weekly
digging.
dose of System Shock. X marks the spot where you get #Zapped. Maybe someone can make you dance later.
I don't want to get zapped.
Zapid.
Why do you hurt
Oh,
me with the
my.
zappers?
More system shocks, and hey,
Okay.
since we have them, in fact, I've got 4 of them. I think it's time that we use one of them and see where you guys end up on the old slider there, shall we? Let's start up there with Chuck and Vector Reigns and see where we end up. And let's go ahead and put you all the way over into pilot and let Vector take the reins for a little while.
Let Vector take the reins. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm never going to stop using that joke.
Never.
All right, let's pop over there. And for John Stone and Larry Walker, we're going to go all the way over into Larry and let Big Larry take the helm of the operation right there. Down there with Princess Hedgehog and Glenn, we are going to go the other direction and let it be all Princess Hedgehog for a little bit here, full pilot.
Y'all are ready.
And then down there with Gabe and Paul, we're going to hop right into the middle and have a nice even mix of both Gabe and Paul.
Okay.
What happened to her hair?
Now, Vector, you've got a shovel in your hands. You've been digging for a solid 20 minutes in the ground here, and it's just more dirt. In fact, you've barely made a scratch. It's so heavy and rocky here that you've only been able to dig through a little bit of dirt before you just hit rocks. And unless they had like a drill or something, they certainly didn't make a hole in the ground here.
Drop the shovel. It's beneath me.
What? It's beneath you? You found it?
Oh yeah, Larry. No, it's somewhere down there. I'm not digging anymore. That's too much work for.
Do we have snacks?
Yes.
I'm just saying, if we're taking a break, like snacks would be great right now.
I'm gonna pull out
Cool.
some snacks and hand them over.
Yeah, I guess we
Thank
have
you
been digging.
very much.
So there's a wall. The tools we have are some shovels, 3 shotguns. Larry, what else is in your pack?
Well, I mean, I got our tent gear. I got flashlights. We have the e-tools already. Some MREs. Why you looking for something specific? Got some rope.
No explosives though.
No explosives.
Okay.
Why? What are you thinking, man?
Thinking there's rock here and I'd rather not dig. They seem to have the right idea by blowing stuff up.
But if we just start dynamiting things, we could die as well as destroy the treasure.
No. He's an expert. He'll be fine.
Trust me, I can do this. If
I
we-
When
mean,
did
we
you
have
learn about
gone on
dynamite?
adventures sometimes.
That's a good question. Glenn?
In a book? Yeah, that seems in character. In a book. For sure.
And Glenn told me.
Yeah. You light the end of it, right? Like, and you throw it and it makes a boom and that solves everything, right? That's
That's
Yep.
just a fact.
It has its applications, for sure, yeah. Larry, if I'm to understand correctly, you're Larry, right? This sounds kind of an odd question. I'm not even completely sure why I'm asking, but you're just Larry, right? My good friend Larry?
Yeah.
Just you, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking if we had any sort of advanced technology, we might be able to ping the surface of the rocks somehow, and perhaps get some sort of a more complete image, sonar or radar of what's beneath us.
Like an
we could-
echolocation situation?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I have components in my bag, but I'm not sure if I can build anything quite so sophisticated with what. Well, maybe.
Are there any rats nearby?
Probably not with all that. Oh, and it happens again. Explosion, dynamite going off down below you. And it's very loud. It shakes the rocky ridge, and then right there beside you on the rocky ridge, a bunch of rocks crumble and fall away and reveal a passageway, a cave, right there in the side of the ridge. The little passage leading down. And just inside that cavern opening, there is a rusted pirate cutlass laying on the ground.
Guys,
Grab cutlass.
Well.
Grab cutlass. Now have cutlass.
That looks very promising. I'm gonna get some shiny things.
Okay, Glenn, now you're acting weird even for you.
Yeah.
What?
Glenn.
Everybody likes shiny things.
True.
Right? You like shiny things? I like shiny things. We like to collect things.
Well, we gotta get there without getting spotted, though.
Oh, yeah. But do you think maybe there's an opening by the cutlass we can climb down?
There.
Well, that
Oh.
passageway seems like the most obvious way. I just don't.
Perfect. You go first.
I'll go first. Trust me.
It is dark in there right away, Vector Reigns. The sunlight kind of blocked almost immediately as you begin following this passageway down. But thankfully, Larry brought those flashlights for you.
Good work,
Journey
Trey.
one on. You can tell that this passageway has been here for a while, and somebody must have carved this out, maybe mined it out, used picks or something. And those rocks that were in front of it were just a barricade that someone made. This has been here for a while.
Cutlass.
Wow.
Cutlass.
No way. This is in. Did the pirates really make all this?
Probably. Pirates are
And then
notorious.
about 10 or 15 feet in, you come across a rotted tripwire, broken in half and laying across the pathway. But it clearly was hooked up at one point as a tripwire right here on the path.
Okay, that's totally for a trap, guys.
Yeah, I should check out and see what it's attached to. There might be still some way of triggering it if we're not careful.
Excellent.
Absolutely,
idea.
you can do that.
Yeah, I'd just like to see what we're working with here. And while I'm at it, if I can get eyes on any other traps in the immediate area, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I discreetly scoot behind Chuck. And I'm like,
Wonderful.
yeah, Gabe, you do that. You check those traps. I'm just gonna be over here.
I'm going to have you make a couple of rolls for me, Gabe. I'm going to want a notice roll first.
Yeah, let's see. So a notice roll. Okay, so I do have access to both sheets on Gabe. That would be, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and use some Paul notice here. That's an
Okay.
8.
All right, I'll take a D8 and a D6
Can I,
with a -1 for being in the center.
Oh, well, never mind. He's good. Never mind.
Even with the -1, that's pretty dang good. Yeah. As you step forward to help out, Larry, he seems to have found where this tripwire hooks up to. It looks like it was meant to make this little support across the ceiling give way and let the rocks collapse on top of the hapless person that walked underneath it. But long ago, it seems that those rocks probably already fell down and this tripwire rotted away. But up further ahead, you can see that there's probably, that looks like a pressure plate in the ground up ahead. I'm going to want a science roll for your next one.
Okay, science roll. That will be a 10 plus 2.
All right, I'll take the D10 and D6 on this one. Oof, with the
Guys.
-1, those are going to be 3s.
Yeah, I don't want to have poison darts shot at me, so I'm going to spend a personal Benny on that.
Spending a personal Benny.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, let's go ahead and re-roll that and see what it comes up as.
Gabe's
Oh,
been
there
shot
we
at
go.
enough.
Ooh.
An 8 becomes a 7, even in the center, which is going to definitely be a success.
That's more
Okay.
better.
Yeah, you seem to be right. There are tiny little holes along the wall. If you stepped on that pressure plate, maybe something shoots out of those little holes built into the wall there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need to be
Assuming it
taking
still
toxic
works.
damage. Yeah.
I would just like to point out that Glenn is so lucky that I am in the driver's seat right now, because otherwise that little kid would be so dead right now. They would be jumping on the pressure plate. I could
Yeah.
just feel their little heart inside me, like, let's go.
What do you mean they? You're you.
Yes.
You're being weird again, Glenn.
I am often weird.
It is a
So you
character
keep
trait.
telling me.
Glenn has.
Indeed.
So yeah, you probably want to stay off of that pressure plate right over there. Just a heads up, unless you want to be shot by darts that might paralyze or kill you. And I
Which could
think it
also
would
be fun.
Yeah, but I think it would be kind of immoral to harm ourselves, if that makes any sense.
Oh no, it absolutely does. I'm just letting you know that I am practicing a tremendous amount of restraint on this human.
Oh yeah. That's just a good idea.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Oh yeah. No, Glenn. I mean, I would have been dead a long time ago. If never mind. Let's keep going.
All right, you make your way past the pressure plate, carefully not stepping on it. And you do come across another trap right away, or at least it was expected to be one. This one, a very simple covered pit trap, but the coverings that were put on it have long since rotted away, making it simply a hole in the pathway in front of you, dropping about 10 feet to crude, carved wooden spikes pointing up from below, also fairly rotted.
Guys, with this many traps, there's got to be treasure up ahead. What else would they be trying to protect?
Treasure.
Treasure.
Yeah,
Yes.
survey says.
4 out of 4 children were asked, what was it? It's treasure.
Seems to be the
Otherwise,
case.
it could potentially be traps like protecting a royal family, for instance.
Yeah.
You know, Gabe, you said survey says, reminds me of that guy, Richard Dawson, who was kissing everybody. What's his deal? Like, why does he have to kiss
Jesus.
everybody? It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Wait till the
I don't know.
lawsuits.
Like, it seems somehow dated, and yet that doesn't sound like the correct way to put that, considering it's a current thing. Yeah. It's questionable. It raises eyebrows. Yeah.
Yeah, lots. I think we can get over this pit.
So, this considering how treacherous the floor here can be, I was gonna wait for an appropriate moment, but I actually made something for you, Chuck, that I think might come in handy should something go really poorly in the near future.
Go on.
Yeah. So I reach into my bag and unfold like a little unit that continues to unfold, and it's this just clunky skateboard-looking thing with a rocket attached to it and some fins. So this is a rocket board. I had the idea for it the other night, and I think you could use this in case like the floor drops out from under you, or if you need to stunt on someone real good.
Whoa,
this
Gabe,
might
does
be
that
quick.
work?
I'm going
Can
to
I try? I mean, I
haven't-
so hard.
I don't know how many charges it has. I mean, the fuel sources on this planet. I mean, the fuel that I was able to access is kind of limited. So I'm not sure how long it'll last, but just good thing to keep in your back pocket.
Wow.
I'm gonna grab the rope and I'm gonna use it and jump across the pit. Rocket board right across the pit.
You're going to rocket board right across the pit. Okay, you engage the rocket board, and just like
And I'm like,
Gabe
but Chuck, you
said,
can walk around.
just like it says, it launches you immediately across and through the air. It takes a little bit of a turn before you don't slam immediately into a wall right after doing it. And then after about 8 or 10 seconds, the rocket putters out, and it's just a simple board with fins.
Okay.
But for a moment there, you were truly flying.
Good going, Chuck. What if we need you to do that later?
That was amazing!
But Chuck is now across the pit.
Throw me a rope, guys. I'm across the
I
pit.
mean, we've got a way across now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could have gotten across anyway.
Smoke him if you got him. Right?
So I take one of the ropes, and I take the gathered weighted end, and I give it a few swings, and I throw it as hard as I could up as high. Hopefully it'll get him. Pretty sure.
I'm
I
going
can
to
throw.
take an athletics roll from you, Larry.
Not a problem. Just throwing a rope. 8.
But did you?
All right, I'll take a D8 and a D6 from Larry Walker, tossing that rope across. Hey, a 4 is still a success. So you hurled a heavy rope across, which, between the children is something that only Larry Walker could really feasibly do. And you've got it across to Chuck.
Ooh. Now find somewhere to secure it, Chuck. Like, make sure it's really, really safe and tight.
Okay. I'm gonna go find like a stalactite or stalagmite or a column, one of the three, don't matter.
You look around for a bit. It takes you a couple of minutes, and then you find a rock that's really sticking out at an angle that you think you could wrap it around and tie it tight.
Okay, which one is the stalactite?
I do it.
Stalagmite? Which one's?
So stalactite has a C in it for ceiling, stalagmite has a G for ground. That's how I always remember.
Cool.
And the column is when they combine.
Oh, you can hear the train from in here.
That's weird.
It's a very loud boat.
Yeah. We're not far enough inside yet.
Yeah.
Now, there's always a train running through Gulfhaven. All right, you got the rope across. It seems to be secured on the far side. Now what, guys?
So, who's carrying me across?
I mean, I've got a pretty scrawny body currently. I'm not sure how feasible it would be. I mean, it worked okay in the library, but we weren't moving across a pit full of spikes.
Right. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I take the
I'm gonna
rope
fly.
end that I have and find a nice spot to secure it on my end.
All right, you're able to tie it off fairly easily on that side. Now you've got a rope across the pit, secured on both ends.
Now, Glenn,
I'm just gonna fly across.
The force.
All right, go ahead and give me that spellcasting roll. What do you have for
Yeah,
it?
it's a 12.
All right, I'll take a D12 and a D6.
Your overconfidence will hurt you.
I'm Princess
I know
Hedgehog.
this.
Oh.
Hey, a 5 is a success.
Oh,
and
okay.
without preamble, Glenn's body levitates up in the air and flies over the pit to land on the other side.
The force is strong with her, Glenn. That one. The force is strong with that one. Everyone.
Oh, I mean,
Ta-da!
it's still surprising every time I see it.
It's true.
Every time. When have you seen her do that?
I
Not a
mean,
girl.
don't you remember she? I mean,
Not a girl.
Excuse me. Yeah. They were with the gator, and there was another time too.
Force powers. They
Force
exist.
powers.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's that time that I punched you with my force powers, and yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
that's
I can see
two of
why
us
you wouldn't remember
across.
that. Yeah.
That's two of us. Gabe, you can climb this rope, right? I mean, we're just gonna
Yeah.
kind of like swing underneath it and just kind of, hand over hand. You got this, right?
Yeah, I was thinking I'd just kind of shimmy, like, cling for dear life on the underside and just kind of bump, 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 bump.
Whatever works for you, bro. Just make sure
Yep.
that you can handle it, all right?
I feel...
You might be able to help him, Larry.
I might be able to help him.
Words of
Well,
encouragement.
Since
I
I
mean-
do have, reliable, I can assist somehow.
Yeah.
And you are a pretty strong guy yourself, so getting across this is going to be easy for you.
Mhm.
Tell you what, Larry, let me go first. And while I'm hanging on, you get on the rope, and then tell you what. And so I find another smaller length of rope in my bag,
Absolutely.
and I tie it to my belt, and I hand the other end to him, and I say, "All right." I tie it to his belt, and so so my plan is going to get on the rope, and we're going to just kind of underhanded, hanging under it, and as long as he follows me, I'll be semi-pulling him at the same time. So all he has
Aha.
to do is make sure not to let go, and we should both make it across alive.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to have you make 2 different athletics checks, Larry. One for yourself for crossing, and then one as a support roll, which you can use your reliable edge on if you don't like the result. So we're going to get a D8 and a D6 for Larry's personal attempt across.
Oh,
We
boy.
do have some
This
bennies
is
available.
what
You've
they
got
do
personal
bennies
ones,
for.
and there are bennies available in the store as well.
Yeah,
in
I'll take
fact.
one of those store bennies. Let's
All
get a
right,
store
using
benny
one
out
of
here.
the 3 in the store, let's re-roll that.
Hey.
Hey, much, much better. And then one more of those for the support roll, same dice, for helping Gabe across, which you can take, that's 6 aces, so you can take that as a 10, which is good enough, or you can re-roll it because you have the reliable edge. It's up to you.
10 is great.
10 is great. Okay.
Seems like a good
10
roll.
is going to give a +2 bonus to Gabe's athletics roll to cross the gap. So what do you have for athletics over there, Gabe?
Yeah, and I am restricted to Gabe because I can't use Paul's body, so that's a 6.
All right, a D6 and a D6. Including the center penalty, you still get a +1. That's
Yes.
6 aces.
Hey.
And that's going to give you a 10. Both Gabe and Larry cross flawlessly, working together,
Yeah.
using Larry's rope strategy to pull him along as he just hangs on.
Thanks, Larry.
And you've made it across the pit of dangerously old wooden spikes down below. Someone took a lot of time and effort to trap this passageway.
Good work, everyone.
Yeah.
Now, before we go any further, because I have several of them in the store, I do want to use another system shock because I think it's time for it. I think we should see where people end up. I have lots of them, and I feel that this is appropriate. I really want to use one. Let's start with the Vector Reigns and Chuck. And let's hop you back across to the other side and let Chuck take the wheel for a bit. Going to full avatar there. Over there for Larry Walker and John Stone. We're going to do the opposite. It's going to go full John Stone at the driver's seat now.
I haven't been full John Stone this entire adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Full John Stone going in there. Down there for Glenn and Princess Hedgehog. We're going to pop you right into the middle. Just an even mix of both of them. Let Glenn back in a little bit.
Oh, you guys are ready.
And then down there on the bottom between Gabe and Paul, we are going to go all the way into Paul.
All right, so be it.
All of Paul coming out to play. Gabe is going to be a passenger for a minute. You guys are now across the pit. The rope is still secured if you need to make an exit in this particular fashion. And again, the cavern shakes a little bit, and distantly you hear the sound of an explosion from their continued attempts to dynamite into the ridgeline.
Guys. Okay, I have some observations that I was kind of keeping to myself. Is that the spikes that are sitting in the bottom of the pit kind of look like a carding comb? Have you ever seen anybody card wool? You know how it's got like the spokes and then you drag the wool through it? Like it kind of reminded me of that. So like if we had fallen down there, we could have been like the pieces of wool that are being pulled through the carding boards, which is kind of neat, and then we would have been turned into like spaghetti like strings.
I'm not familiar with this process. It sounds fascinating.
It is. It's really neat. It's the way that they take wool, which is all like curly and kind of matted and like
Kid,
tied up in it.
shut it.
Yeah.
We have a mission, all right? An objective.
Larry! Why are you
Like
rude?
missions aren't
We
fun
have
if
things
they're
to
not
do.
Fun.
We don't have a lot of time, all right?
Yeah.
Now let's
but
move
like,
on down this thing and find that treasure.
I mean, okay.
Larry's a dick.
If you want to talk to me about the spaghettification process later, I mean, I'm sure it would be a marvelous time. I'm always happy to learn more about this system and the culture.
I would, if you really want to know, about it, I will tell you. But I don't want to annoy people.
Good. Now, can we go and find this treasure, or we're going to stand here telling ghost stories? Huh? Let's move. And I just start walking further down toward.
Following the passageway. And Larry
Right.
seems to have gotten harder over the moment there, a little rough around the edges there. Maybe going across that pit was difficult for him.
So I tried to just ping the send out like sonar pings to find make myself a little bit of a map of the caverns ahead, trying to figure out which direction or how much further ahead it is, what kind of terrain it is. Yeah, that's what I do right now, so I can try to expedite the process of finding the stuff.
Nicely done. I'll take an electronics roll from you using your John Stone sheet.
All right, that's a 4 + 4.
All right, I'm going to get a D4 and a D6, adding 4 to both results. I've got a 7 and a 5, both of them being successes. The 7 a slightly better success. John, you are able to use a little bit of the sonar ping out there, like tracking this this cavern way. It goes down probably another 100 meters or so. There's like one small little like room about midway down through it, and then it opens up into a very large chamber. There doesn't seem to be any side passages that you can detect or any other passageways. But down there in that main chamber, you can also, from your sonar, one of those walls is getting thinner. Perhaps that's where they're not trying to dynamite into.
Okay. I think I have the primary spot that would be where they might locate the treasure. It's just down this. Yeah, it's further down here. They even have what might be a thin or maybe even a false wall in here. Something's probably hidden through there. So let's go. Just be careful.
You be careful.
So I just start walking down.
The rest of you?
I follow the commander.
I'm gonna walk sluggishly, dragging the cutlass. It's got a lot less fun.
Oh, man, did it.
And I'm gonna walk next to Chuck going, and the sound that the cutlass makes on the stone reminds me of that sound that they make in horror movies when they're trying to intimidate people. And I'm gonna be really quiet so that he doesn't get mad at me, but I just thought I needed
You say whatever you want, Glenn.
Thank you.
Larry's got something up his butt, and I don't even care. Because you know what? We're here to find treasure, we're here to have fun, and we're here to be frickin' pirates. And you know what? I don't even care if his mom hears. I'll say frickin' all I want. Because we're going to be frickin' pirates, and we'll have all the gold, and she can't do nothing about it. And Larry can shove it.
What's your best pirate noise?
Aren't all pirate noises just Kyar?
Yay!
John Stone is anti-fun, anti-fun, anti-fun. John Stone is anti-fun until we hashtag move him over. Twice.
Oh my! Somebody pushing you all the way into Avatar there, John Stone. And John Stone is now all the way in Avatar, no longer in the driver's seat. Larry Walker back in charge.
That did my job.
All right.
Yep.
Larry's back in the driver's seat now. John Stone is hidden away. That was a short trip, John, as the driver there.
Yep.
What I really appreciate is it's possible that our most valuable member is gone.
Yep.
Just like 2 seconds ago, we were using sonar to find our way to the, and now, y'all, we're just tapping on stones, making music.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, man. You're at the
Ironically-
lead, Larry. Everyone's voices are kind of echoing as they've been talking and moving down this cavern way. And then you hear something ahead. Does it sound like low, mournful singing, maybe? And then as you're getting closer, that's definitely singing. I'll sing you a song of the rolling tides, of lands far beyond the bay, of the soft sea swell and the ebb tide bell, that I'll never know me again. Yeah, someone is singing ahead. And an old sailing song, it sounds like.
I don't know, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the songs that the dwarves sing in Lord of the Rings, or at least what I think that they sound like, because when I read it, I kind of made up songs that go with it, and it kind of reminded me of that.
Have you
because,
not
like,
seen that
it's, you know,
cartoon?
we're talking about-
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yes! No,
Cartoon
the
is
one
cool,
with
especially
the
when the eagles
orcs
came.
and the whips and the whips and the orcs, where there's a whip. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I want one of those big
so
dogs.
good.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
And
the
getting
point-
closer, it grows louder, and then the passageway kind of opens up into almost a little bit of a chamber. And there, sitting on the floor, well, sitting is a kind of a strong description, as this thing is blue and faint, and you can almost see through it, and it's wispy. It's a pirate ghost.
Wait, is it, what, no, this is important. Is this
I
important?
poke it
Is-
with the
is that-
cutlass.
Ghost, or is it a poltergeist, or
Gabe.
is it because they're...
Arr there, matey, don't be poking me with a cutlass.
It's a ghost!
Gabriel, are ghosts real?
I'm sorry,
Uh,
Mr. Ghost.
Evidently. I mean, I've seen ghosts before, and if my memories of our prior experiences are correct, we've probably seen them in this system as well. Although the memories are unreliable, some of the signs seemed to link up, others could be explained via other reasons, but I think you may have seen some in the past. But
Are you
yes,
possessed
ghosts
by
are
a
real.
ghost? Why are you talking like that?
Gabe, you are.
Puberty is happening. That's
I
a plausible
know.
explanation. So my voice has dropped a bit. It would be embarrassing for me to bring this up, right? So you know it's not a lie. I would never say something so embarrassing if it wasn't puberty causing me
Glenn,
to
quit it.
have a different demeanor and voice.
Yeah, stop making fun of people, Glenn. It's not okay.
At any rate, my hormones are starting to change, and
All
as
right,
you can
whatever.
see,
Forget about it. Just what are we gonna do with this ghost?
There's a ghost, guys! Let's not talk about bodies. It's rude. He doesn't have one.
Oh
What
my
are
god,
you
Mr.
little
Ghost, I have
ones
so
doing
many
down
questions.
here?
I have so many questions. Can you feel things? Like, you don't have nerve endings anymore, but like, can you actually feel things? Because maybe because emotions are a state of mind and spirit. Like, do you have feelings?
How did you die?
I feel very, very sad.
What's your pirate
For
name?
I am cursed.
Oh,
Oh,
like,
Can-
damn.
can we?
I am trapped
you up?
here,
Just
separated from my body and cursed to wander these halls, just as my body and those of my crewmates is cursed to protect the treasure.
Treasure, you say?
Okay, guys, this is a problem. Okay, I can't do an Ashiro-Tommy on a ghost. You have to have like a body for me to throw it. So if this thing attacks us, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Ghost.
Are you going to attack us?
Of course not.
Oh, see, we're fine.
Yeah,
But I can't say the same for my body or those of my crewmates. Our remains are bound by the curse left by Red Belly when he murdered us all to protect his treasure.
I knew he wasn't a good guy. Red Belly's a bad guy's name.
Wait, so Red Belly he was the captain of?
He was the captain, and he cursed us and killed us.
I'm
And
sorry.
even now, our bodies lie in wait.
Hashtag benefits Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do now. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now.
Thank you, chat.
Ugh.
Even now, my body waits below to slay anyone who would attempt to take the treasure from Red Belly's hiding place. But that is the only way to break the curse.
Wait, so wait. Oh my gosh. So this is so cool. So you still have a body and it still exists, and yet you are separated from it, and you're a spirit that roams free of your body, but your body can still move and it can attack people?
Unfortunately, but I cannot wander far. This is as far away from the treasure as I can go.
Whoa,
Wait,
a second.
wait, new question. Can you hold your own hand?
I cannot. As you see, and he reaches out and his hand passes right through you, Glenn. I cannot
that's
touch
cold.
anything.
That's cold.
Okay, wait a second. So like nobody can take treasure, like even like kids taking a little bit of treasure?
Yeah, like what about kids?
The
Kids are different.
Guardians would seek you out and slay you no matter how far you traveled, unless you break the curse.
So if we break the curse, we can keep treasure.
Gabe, I have another question.
Ah, it is not so easy, little one. The only way to break the curse is to return the treasure to the wreckage of Red Belly's ship, offshore in the sea.
So
So, Gabe, can we? You're really nice, guys. We're just gonna huddle over here real quick, okay?
Team huddle.
So how quickly could you build a Millennium Falcon if we had the treasure? Because I'm thinking, like, yeah, they're cursed to follow us, but they don't have spaceships. So I feel like
Fact.
if we could get off-world, we could keep the treasure.
okay, you guys, this is so stupid. We haven't even developed warp drive technology yet. You're talking about a Millennium Falcon and we can't even warp drive. So how are we gonna get away?
Yeah, but
I mean,
like, Gabe is smart.
Yeah, the warp drive technology wouldn't be the difficult part. I mean, the energy source would probably be the most challenging aspect, but I think we could get it whipped up in, what's a reasonable time frame by your standards?
2 hours.
Well,
Probably about 2 hours.
What's that?
Whatever that is.
All right, guys, now you're being silly. Like, really, we have a real problem here. I mean, we came all this way for treasure, but we have to take it to the ship first?
That's not a problem. It's part of the adventure. Sometimes you gotta grab something and go bring it to an old guy, and the old guy says, "Here, thank you for your
Chuck,
quest."
do you remember who's outside? The guys with the guns and the dynamite and the possessing zombies?
Oh yeah, the Whitfields and the Sturms.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we need to get to it first.
One problem at a time. First problem, get gold. Second problem, drop gold. Third problem, get gold.
Wait. Oh, loophole.
Loophole.
Okay. If we return it to the ship, which I guess means like dumping it where the ship wrecked, then like if we got scuba gear, could we come back for it?
I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds plausible.
That sounds airtight. It's an airtight
Yeah.
case.
We'd probably have to ask the ghost.
Hey, Ghost.
No, he can't know our plan.
Ghost.
No, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a
He'll
ghost.
say no.
Ghosts know all kinds of stuff.
1 second, guys. Hey, Ghost,
Wait,
if
but
we
like-
drop it off in the water, can we go back and get it later and not be cursed?
If the treasure was returned to the wreckage, the curse would be broken.
Guys,
Break a curse, get treasure, Millennium Falcon.
Mr. Ghost, okay, like my uncle Zeev is a lawyer, and he says you always have to get stuff in writing. So, like, do you have like a scroll or something
You can't
that you can write
touch.
that on?
I'm afraid I can't touch anything. I'm a ghost, cursed to wander these halls.
Well, maybe you could get like
if the
a
curse
ghost writer.
breaks- oh.
Ghost writer.
If the curse breaks, do you get to go somewhere really nice?
I don't know, but anywhere would be better than stuck in these caves for another century or two.
So, if you're a ghost, does that mean all your other friends are ghosts too?
I am the only one that wanders free. The others are still bound in their cursed bodies, forced to protect the treasure.
Can you ghost push a ghost out of its ghost body and then you could take it?
I cannot.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! Wait a second. You said they're supposed to protect the treasure, right? So
They are
if
from
we-
any and all thieves.
We're not
Okay,
thieves.
so first of all, we're gonna take it to the ship, so they're not gonna attack us, right?
They will try to kill anyone who attempts to lay hand on the treasure, and once you have even a piece of it, they will follow you forever.
So how are we gonna get the treasure to the ship without them attacking us? Ah,
You can't like reason with them? Maybe? Is
They're
that
your
okay?
ghost friends.
They cannot be reasoned with. They are bound by Red Belly's curse.
Man's red
Yeah,
belly.
Red Belly was a real jerk.
Right?
Wait, did we just jinx that? Did we just jinx
We
that?
jinxed it.
Oh,
But it's
we
okay.
jinxed it.
Gabe, what do we do, man?
We gotta get the gold and break the curse. Were you looking for a more specific directive? Because typically you lead and make these kinds of decisions, Larry, right?
Larry's not
Well,
the
no,
leader.
you're like in charge of the club because it's your house
What?
that we meet at. So you're kind of like the dude.
Oh.
I mean, when it comes time to beat somebody up, I mean, I can handle that part, but you're the brains.
I am very decisive, yes,
Wait.
and I make good decisions for the group. Tactics.
That's not how
are-
any of this works. I'm in charge.
Whoa.
You're-
While we're out throwing our hat in the ring, I
don't
guess
have
we
a hat.
At least have a lot of rank somewhere in
Okay,
here.
Glenn's the weird
I am
one.
royalty.
Gabe's the smart one. Larry's the strong one. And I'm the fearless leader. That's how it works.
You're the one who
Two.
breaks a bone like every time we hang out.
Exactly.
Wait,
You gotta
wait,
break
wait,
some
wait,
bones
wait,
to
wait,
make an
no.
omelet.
Hashtag
Chuck,
hack attack. Wait. If this guy is bound to his body and his body is bound to follow them if they have the treasure, then when they have the treasure, Ghosty Boy can follow them as long they need him to.
Ooh. We've just made a new friend.
Ghost friend. Ghost friend.
Ghost friend, I have a question. I have another question. I have another question, and it's kind of important.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Were you ever pirate married?
I was not, but many of the crew were.
Oh no, are there pirate wives part of the crew?
They could
There
be
are
pirate
many
husbands.
marriages on a pirate ship of many kinds.
Oh, was there like bird and bee stuff going on the ship?
Sometimes we would keep birds on the ship,
What?
but
Ew.
not bees.
Pirate guy, can you explain birdsing and beesing? Because I don't know.
No,
We've
la,
made
la,
a
not
lot of
listening.
guesses.
La 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 la.
Well, there's a lot of things that I could tell you about wenching, little ones, but I think you're not quite old enough to learn just yet.
Oh. Okay. How old
Yes,
do you have
it
to
would be inappropriate at this age. You have to be at least 3 times older than this.
I'll be dead by then.
Chuck, bury it, okay? It's a problem when a pirate ghost is more appropriate than you.
No, it's not. It's not. Fine.
Anyway,
As the leader.
Chuck, you're great. You're perfect.
Thank
I think
you.
you're wonderful.
All right, Mr.
How
Pirate
much-
Friend Ghost, can you lead us to the treasure so we can get it? So say the leader of the group.
Down this passageway, you will find an underground lake. And there, in its center, is an island. And on that island is the treasure.
So it's
But
not.
beware, hidden in the waters and in the ground and in the shadows are the corpses of the pirate crew. And they will rise to defend the treasure when you intrude.
Okay.
So
But we
We-
can go look at it, right?
Oh yeah,
we gotta
we'll
fight
look.
We're fighting zombies.
Okay, question. Ghost, can you possess people?
No.
Okay. Can you teach us how to fight with cutlasses? In
If
a
we
mod
had
pack.
a lot of time, which I do, I could in fact teach you the basics of the use of the cutlass.
Okay, that sounds boring. Let's go.
You stick them with the pointy end, if that helps.
Thanks, Mr. Pirate Ghost.
Is there
gonna take a
is
lot of
there
work.
is there a should we aim for the head since they're zombies, or should we cut them off at the knees so they can't chase us?
They're cursed. They will continue to rise, no matter what harm befalls them.
Mr. Pirate Ghost, what's your name so we can stop calling you Mr. Pirate Ghost and we can call you...
I am Mr. Taylor.
Oh, okay. Mr. Taylor, the Pirate Ghost.
Did
That's
you
even
also
longer.
do the tailoring?
That's
On the
correct.
ship?
I would mend the clothes and sails aboard the ship.
So you know about wool and carding thing, right?
Why, yes, I do.
I don't ever want to leave this place. This is somebody with a lot of knowledge, and I want to talk to them forever and ever and always. And also, I feel really, really validated right now.
Okay, fine. Stay and talk to him. We are gonna go and find the gold.
No, we're going to get the gold, and then Mr. Taylor, the Pirate Ghost, King, is going to come with us. Right?
I am bound to the treasure, just like the cursed crew.
Oh my gosh.
Fine.
Guys,
I have an idea though.
we
What's
have
your
a-
idea?
Well, I'll tell you when we start walking so that we're not in earshot of Mr. Taylor Ghost.
He's... Okay. King. Mr. Taylor Ghost, Pirate King. He has a title.
Yes.
He earned it.
Yes.
Okay, guys, check this out. Hey, Glenn, why don't you keep talking to Mr. Taylor Pirate Ghost?
King.
King. And, yeah, back there, you can hang back and talk and just follow behind us real slow like. Okay,
I mean,
guys.
sure, yeah. Wait, no. So, like, if you're
Okay,
Mr. Taylor, the
so,
pirate,
like, here's my idea.
Okay.
I thought that maybe, like,
So the that wall over there overlooks the the water, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that if we can figure out a way to smash through that wall, all the water in here, because I already pinged it, echolocated, and the water gets deeper as the further we go.
You what?
If we can smash a hole through the wall, the water pressure will push us and the treasure out into the water below, and that way we'll be super fast to get to the boat before the pirate skeleton crew ghosts can follow us. Because we'll like water slide it all the way down to the water, and then just get to the boat real fast.
That makes a lot of sense. And then I'm going to just walk up to the wall and punch it with Gabe's puny fists.
You cause severe harm to Gabe's hand, splitting open one of the knuckles and making it bleed. And
Dude,
it hurts a
Gabe!
lot.
Why?
I got confused.
It's an idea. We have to figure out how to do it first. Not now. We're not even there yet.
I messed up.
I have
Give
some
me
Band-Aids.
that ice monster Band-Aid.
Thanks.
Yeah. Do you want me to force it?
I mean, I think it's gonna be okay for now. If it looks like the Band-Aid won't suffice, it's probably a good idea to conserve power for the time being.
It's quite painful, in fact, Paul, and that's a new experience for you.
I don't like this.
Wait. Okay. That really sucks. But Glenn has force powers. Glenn could use the force powers to knock down the wall.
You said that sucks butt.
Okay, it does suck butt. But
That sucks butt.
okay. What was I saying?
You said it sucks
So this pirate treasure. We
The
should get
booty.
it.
All right. We should keep going now.
All right, you follow the passageway down, and just like you somehow know from before when you were able to somehow do sonar, Larry, somehow, you enter into a very large chamber that's dominated by a vast lake. In the center of this murky underground lake is a small island. You can see an old wooden and iron-bound chest sitting in the middle of that island. Near the shore,
Treasure chest.
there's a wooden, rickety boat.
Oh, a boat. Maybe we can do what I said after all. It's a boat.
Let's get in the boat.
Well, let's check out the treasure first.
Well, it's on the middle of the island.
Boating skill?
Sorry, what was that?
I was just wondering if anyone had a boating skill.
I assumed if anyone would, it would be you. It was never my specialty.
I mean, I have survival, but it's only out of 4. But I also have writing, and I feel like I could combine those things. They're both only at 4s, but just, I also have persuasion. So
I could ride a
maybe
boat.
I could persuade the my skills to be better than they are.
I have piloting.
Piloting might work.
Yeah. Yeah, I might be able to soup this boat up a little bit.
Yes.
Seems kind of rickety.
Rocket.
Patch
Oh, yeah,
through
it's
holes. Mm-hmm.
It's very old.
Wait,
Actually, I don't have piloting. Not as full Larry Walker. I don't.
if you add rockets to the boat, won't it rip the boat apart because it's so old?
Well, not if I put enough mud and leaves on top of the boat.
I think I saw that on Gilligan's Island once.
Yes.
I think
yes.
that works.
Mud, leaves, judicious use of the ever plentiful water in the area.
Rockets.
I'm not sure if I have enough components for rockets, but
Well-
I can definitely make it more seaworthy.
You got the sweet rocket board that I believe is out of fuel. I'm going to try it again later, but I'm not sure how I'm going to refuel it.
Well, just getting from here to there in the boat shouldn't be that hard.
No.
Yeah, I just want to get this thing as, like, seaworthy as possible before we head out in it.
Yeah, it's already sitting in the water and isn't leaking at the moment, but
Oh,
it
okay.
is old and worn and probably wouldn't take much abuse before it started to fall apart.
Yep.
I get in the boat.
All right, you climb in the boat. Anybody else getting in the boat?
I'll
I get in the boat.
All right.
Well, they get in the boat, and I kind of, push it off a little as much as I can and jump in.
All right, Larry gives it a push and jumps in, and the boat shakes around as Larry gets in, and you're kind of just coasting across the water from the initial push towards the island. There doesn't seem to be any current, so you're just slowly moving along.
We'll use the skateboard as a oar.
Oh, good.
And you start paddling along using the skateboard as an oar, and then you see the top of a skull rise up through the water a little bit off to your right, and another one a little bit off to your left, and then another one, and the skulls are moving through the water towards the boat.
Battle faster!
And you paddle along, and you kind of just keep pace with them as they're moving along. And using your flashlights, looking into the water, you can see that they're not just skulls. They're connected to the bony bodies below them, holding rusted pirate cutlasses in their hands. And they're walking along the floor of this underground lake, pursuing the boat.
Gabe.
Yeah?
How much do you think that they would really love to study these in biology lab?
I believe the funding to the science department has been cut recently, so I mean, having a fresh skeleton would be appreciated.
Do they count as fresh?
An intact one,
Oh.
at the very least.
So, like, if we kept just one coin and lured it with us, so that we could take it to the biology lab, and then we could study it, and that would be considered like a beneficial and altruistic act, and then nobody could be mad at us, right?
And I think to discover magic in this system could have some profound implications.
That's
If,
what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm saying.
yes.
I don't think any of these skeletons are gonna donate themselves to science.
If we gave the science lab a coin, then they'd all go after the coin.
That's what I'm saying. And then the science lab would never run out of
Bodies?
corpses to study.
Of course, because the skeletons would kill them all.
Oh yeah, that part.
There is
And with that, you reach the island, sliding the bow of the boat just up onto the small island. There isn't room for much beyond this chest and maybe a couple of people. And those skulls connected to those bodies are getting close. And now you can see on the shoreline as well, many more of them have just hold themselves up from the ground, dirt and rocks dripping off of them, and holding their cruel cutlasses in hand, they are walking towards the lake and towards you at the island in the center. There must be dozens of them.
Did everyone get their tetanus booster? Because I think maybe we're gonna run into some rusty swords.
I have my rusty
they're
cutlass.
gonna run into us.
And as they approach, the whole cavern shakes again. One of those explosions from outside. A few rocks fall from above and plunge into the lake. What do you do?
Guys, I got a couple things that might help. And I reach into my bag and toss a couple of boxing gloves to Larry. And they have rockets attached to them. So these won't last too long, but if you want to hit something real hard, they got a couple charges.
I don't box though. I mean,
well,
judo
use
mostly
them if you
throws
got
and mostly throws and joint locks.
well, you could do a super joint lock with those. I don't know fighting things though. And Glenn, since you've been learning how to use what Gabe tells me is the Force, he gave me the idea for this, and I hand Glenn a crude lightsaber.
What? What do you mean Gabe told you?
See, now you just deflated Glenn,
Starting
man.
a hashtag dance.
Oh my god.
Thank you, chat.
Oh, I thought I had
Psionic energy blade, I believe.
Yeah, it's a laser sword, trademark free. Yeah.
Oh my. The treasure, or if it is treasure, who knows, sits on an iron and wood-bound chest sitting right there on the island, and those skulls are getting closer and closer. They've reached a point where the upper bodies are starting to come out of the water of the closest ones, moving through. They are truly terrifying looking from the age and sitting in the dirt all this time. Bare minimums of rags still hanging from a few of them.
Larry, get the treasure chest. Me and Glenn with their new laser sword can fend them off.
I'm really, really sorry if I murder your wife or husband or unspecified relationship where you benefit from each other's treasure. And then I sweep across with the
Let's deal some initiative cards and see what happens. We've got 2 draw 2s in the store. Don't forget if you want to use one of those, and let's see what they come up as. Oh, it might be a time to use one of those.
oh boy.
I mean,
We've got 2 draw 2s. Anybody want to use one?
I'll use one.
All right.
Yeah.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that's.
Um, can I change mine from 2?
Yeah.
Yep, we can use one of the other draw 2s. That's both draw 2s in the store. Still not going to beat the Ace of Hearts, but it is significantly better than a 2.
Ooh.
All right. Looks like the Ace of Spades is going to start us out, and that's with you, Chuck. But before we get into this combat, let's do another system shock because, you know, I have them and I want to see how this works out.
No.
So starting out there with Chuck/Vector, we're going to roll the die and we'll put you in the middle and get a little bit of both Chuck and Vector in for this fight.
Vector Chuck.
All right, for John
Chuck
Stone and Larry Walker, we're going to put you all the way back in John Stone again.
Oh, that's good.
All the way back in John Stone. They're down there for Glenn and Princess Hedgehog. Let's put you all the way into Glenn and full avatar on the line at the moment.
Oh, guys. Oh, no.
All right, between Paul and Gabe, we are going to move you all the way over into Gabe.
All right.
Dear chat, I'm going to die.
Why don't you start us out there, Vector/Chuck?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Benny to go full vector.
All right, using a
Okay.
Benny, putting full vector reins into the driver's seat.
Take a nap, Chuck. I'm going to grab the 2 shotguns out of
All right.
Larry's bag. And I'm
There
gonna
is 2 shells in one of them, and the other one has 1 shell in it.
All right, so I'm gonna drop one with one, and I'm gonna go skeletons. I'm gonna pop off 2 and try to take the
Shooting
center
at
of
2
the-
skeletons.
Yeah, with 2 shots. We'll
2
see how this
shots.
goes.
All right. Well, a shotgun gets a +2 bonus on the shooting test, so that's going to throw off that multi-action penalty. So you're going to get to do straight shooting die rolls
Nice.
for both of those attacks. What do you got for shooting?
A D10.
All right. If I can get a D10 with a D6, followed by a D10 with a D6 for the 2 shots from the shotgun.
Oh,
Both of those being a success. The first one being a success with a raise. We're going to do 4 6-sided dice of damage for that one with the raise.
Huh?
Oh my, 2 of those aced.
Ooh.
Ooh.
One of those aced again.
Ooh.
And with a terrific shot, the first one goes off, scattering the skull and the bits of bone as they fly through the air and splash into the water, spreading out in a pattern. The cutlass falling from the hand, which still clutches it. The second shot is only 3 6-sided dice, as there's no raise on that one. If I can get 3 d6 rolled.
Get the chest, Larry. I'll hold them off.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know what you're
That's
talking
a
about.
9. Not a perfect shot this time, but ribs are blown aside and one of the arms on the skeleton blown completely off, splashing in the water. It still is advancing menacingly as you are moving there. We're going to go next to, of course, the skeletons because they had the next highest initiative roll. The first thing that you see, particularly yourself there, Vector, is the one that you blew into pieces. The pieces are sliding back together and slowly reassembling into a skeleton, as is the one whose arm you blew off. Several others advance, not many of them being able to reach the island immediately yet, but 2 of them will. And Larry is the closest one to them, so we're going to make 2 fighting attacks on Larry. Both of those are a d6 for the fighting attack. I can get d6 twice on attacks on Larry. A 3 and a 4. What is, well, you're currently John Stone, so what's John Stone's parry?
My parry is 9.
Oh, you easily sidestep and deflect the swinging cutlasses. It is almost like watching ballet to see your friend Larry up there just moving between the blades. He is quite skilled in unarmed combat.
I gotta take judo.
Larry, you're next with that jack of clubs. I guess it's John Stone though at the moment.
Great.
Yeah.
So, how many skeleton guys are there?
There are 2 that have reached the island. There are several dozen moving through the water towards the island.
Oh, just 2. Oh, yeah. This is easy. So,
And you've got those weird rocket boxing gloves that Gabe gave you.
yeah, I graciously hand them back to Gabe. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. And so the nearest skeleton, well, he swings on me. Obviously, I parried it, but then I just take him and kind of grab him by his neck
Nice.
and his ribs, and just pick him up and swing him around and smack into the other one, because he doesn't weigh
All right.
anything. He weighs what a skeleton weighs. He weighs like 60 pounds or whatever. 30 pounds, I don't know.
Depends on the weight of the person,
Skeleton
but
weight.
it is. It's not something too heavy to the body of Big Larry Walker. I'm going to need an athletics for the grab first. You're doing a multi-action, so you're going to be at -2, unfortunately. But what's John Stone's athletics?
12 plus 3.
So 12 plus 1, and the D6 wild die from John Stone trying to grab. Because John Stone is an expert grappler. That 12 plus 1 is just barely enough, reaching a 4 for you able to grab onto this skeleton. And then I will need a fighting attack for swinging a skeleton at a skeleton. This one also at a -2 multi-action penalty. What do you have for fighting?
12 plus 2.
Ooh, so a straight 12 and a D6 for swinging a skeleton at a skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, not so great. A swing and a miss. Completely just whiffing by. You overestimated how heavy it would be and kind of overshot and just swing right by. But you're still holding this struggling, very unhappy skeleton. It's hard to tell, they don't really do facial expressions. They always just seem to be smiling. All right, that's going to go to our next person in the initiative count. I think that was Gabe, but let me double check when we have that screen pop up. Oh, actually, hearts before clubs, so it's actually going to be Glenn that goes first.
Yeah, and since the lighting has reminded me that I will very shortly be a ghost if I don't do something about this, I'm gonna spend a penny.
There are 4 in the store you can use, or you can use a personal penny.
Yeah, I need the force.
Okay, how many of those you want to use?
How many do I want to use?
Well, you can use 1 and go full Princess Hedgehog there, or 2 and go full Princess Hedgehog, or you can move 1 and go to the center. Your choice.
I mean, let's go the whole way.
All right,
let's go
using
the
2,
whole
all
way.
Princess Hedgehog going into full pilot. And are you using 2 from the store?
Sure, yeah.
All right, 2 bennies used from the store, and full Princess Hedgehog in control. And you're holding a makeshift laser sword, definitely not a lightsaber.
Definitely
Psionic
not a
blade.
lightsaber. I'm suddenly seeing the folly of my ways because I don't know how much Princess Hedgehog has spent time in the woods swinging sticks like it's a sword, but I know that I attack this with gusto.
Excellent.
I appreciate that the lighting shifted as soon as I was out of
yeah.
extreme mortal danger.
That is rather nice. All right, so you're going to swing the laser sword, definitely not a lightsaber, at one of these skeletons? Is that what I'm hearing?
I figure that they're kind of like, pushing their way out of the water, so I'm
Yes.
just gonna try to head them off, like run around the island and see how far I get.
Well, what do you have for fighting, Princess Hedgehog?
6?
All right, if I can get a D6 and a D6 for
That's not
Princess
bad.
Hedgehog.
That's not bad.
Hey, that's 6 aces. And aces again.
Oh gosh!
And aces again.
Oh,
Wow.
baby. Oh,
That is quite the roll with 23 on that fighting attack. Whew. Only one of them is really close enough for you to actually reach with this laser sword, definitely not a lightsaber,
Laser sword.
that you swing out into the water, but you swing it out just as the body is like coming up out of the water, the head coming out, and cut right where the neck and skull join together, and the skull flips through the air, spinning end over end, landing in the water behind. And the body, as it's moving forward, the cutlass held up high menacingly, just kind of falls backwards into the water. But the others are still coming. There are still several dozen more, and the ones that were already hurt seemingly are forming back together as we get to Gabe. Gabe, skeletons everywhere, more of them coming, and the ones that have been knocked down are putting themselves back together through the power of this curse.
Okay, so Gabe has a moment of panic, but then
The
looks
treasure's
in his
right
bag.
there.
The treasure's right there. Oh gosh, I could just ignore the combat thing and do something plot relevant. With that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and run for the treasure. Yeah, let's.
All right, the
let's-
island is not very big, so it doesn't take more than a step or two, and that chest is right there in front of you. You're not sure how heavy it is, though.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay, I've got some rocket propellant still on me. I could.
You do.
Since the gloves didn't end up being used, I could attach the gloves to the box and activate them at a low grade to use as suspensors, a la Baron Harkonnen, and get it kind of somewhat floating, and we could move it more easily.
Brilliant idea. I believe you have like a gadgeteer skill or something of the like on Gabe's sheet.
Yep, that's an 8, I believe.
All right, I'll take a D8 and a D6 from you as you activate these gloves, using them as an improvised form of levitation. And with a 5, you will succeed, propelling the chest up in the air and pushing it along, getting it into the boat. You don't think you could have physically moved that chest without the help of those gloves. It was pretty dang heavy.
Cool.
Heavier than you think. And the boat kind of sinks just a little bit down into the water from the weight of it. It's going to be quite the heavy load on board with everyone and that chest. And even then, there's the dilemma of where do you go from here? And with that, we'll go into the next round of cards as things occur. Uh-oh, guys. Some not great ones in there for you.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
You do have bennies you could use to draw different cards if you don't like it.
I could
Yeah.
go down with those.
I'm gonna use one of mine. Yep.
All right.
Wait, am I committed to it, even if it's worse?
Nope, you get the best card.
Cool. Okay.
Oh,
You're going to get that one.
I
Benny
didn't know
used.
that.
Are you using one of your personal bennies, or was that one of the store bennies?
I went for personal on that.
All right, personal benny used.
Can
Anyone
I use
else
a
going to want to use
personal
one?
Benny and do the same?
Absolutely. If it's not better than an 8, we get rid of it. A 5 isn't better. I'm going to get rid of it.
Oh, goodbye.
You can, of
Allah.
course, spend
Goodbye.
another one if you so
Goodbye.
choose. You could spend as many as you want, to be honest, as long as you have some left.
It's 7:40. Yeah, let's try one more.
All
Yeah.
right, one more.
Oh, wait.
Still not better.
Oh, no.
Good, goobity goo.
Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Sure, I will.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to not get a better card up there, John.
It's a store Benny. Why not?
There we go. One store
Okay.
Benny spent,
I'll
and you
leave
get
it.
yourself a 9 of hearts up there.
Fine, I'll leave it.
All right, I'm gonna want to go. Gabe, you went from last to first.
Oh yeah.
You've got the treasure
Okay.
chest into the boat. What now? Oh,
Okay.
but before you act, an important detail should be revealed at this
Uh-oh.
point. There is another horribly loud explosion sound. This one sounding almost closer, and the rock wall on one side of the lake completely falls away, revealing sunlight on the outside, and the water from the lake is being pulled straight towards that new opening in the wall.
Guys, that is totally my plan.
Uh,
And
guys, get in the boat. Get in the boat.
And even though I'm still Jon Snow at this point, I freak out in an 11-year-old boy's voice and start jumping around.
To the loophole.
I called it. Yeah.
That is perfect.
I'll lay down some cover fire. And Gabe reaches into his satchel and pulls out, I'm gonna need to pan back a little bit. Pulls out this thing.
What? What is
Alright.
that?
That right there. Oh,
This is my
man.
pyroclastic sprayer. And Gabe like leans over the edge of the boat and like gets all steely-eyed and says to the skeletons, "You'll have plenty of time to guard treasure in hell." and this is basically an impromptu flamethrower, like laying down cover fire across the surface of the water.
Lovely. So
Cover
you're going
fire,
more
yeah.
to support and delay them than actually damage them. I'm still going to need one of
Yeah.
those gadget rolls from you, though. It's going to
Alright.
be a D8 and a D6 from Gabe. Well done. But the 6 is a definite success. And a gout of flame, almost 20 feet long, shoots out from the end of this flamethrower. And he begins spraying it back and forth across the surface of the water. Fire everywhere in an incredible display, driving back skeleton after skeleton, forcing them back into the lake waters. Looks like he has cleared a path, minus the one that Jon Stone is holding and the one that he's trying to beat the one he was holding with in our previous turn. Let's see who's up next. Uh-oh. That's going to be, Vector / Chuck. You're the last person that gets to go before skeletons get to.
Sure.
Gabe seems to have driven away most of them. Jon Stone's got a hold of one of them, but there's still one dangerously armed skeleton on the island.
Oh. Well, I was told to get in the boat. So
You were told to get the boat.
I'm gonna get close to the boat. I'm gonna pull out that rocket-powered skateboard, and I don't know if it has any juice left in it. I was told it might, so I'm gonna hope. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna wait for everybody else to get into the boat, and then I'm gonna do the Fonzie on it and just
Oh.
try to like jump start us off. So
Hell yeah.
Get in the
All
boat,
so you're
everyone!
going to be on a held action until everybody else is in the boat, and then we're going to see what happens with that. All right, the remaining one skeleton in combat and one being grappled by Jon Stone are going to get a chance to do something here before anyone else. The one being grappled is going to make a D6 athletics attempt to try and break free of the grapple of Jon Stone.
Not a chance.
2 is not going to do it. You are able to maintain a grip. The second one gets a 3 as it swings its cutlass down. And again, you easily sidestep and block the cutlass attack. And that takes it to you, John.
All right. So the one that I'm grabbing with, I grab him by the femur, and I just go, and I pull his femur off, and smash his head with it,
Okay.
adding insult to injury. Smash his head with his own femur bone, and then I take that same femur and throw it like a tomahawk at the second one's head.
All right, again, going for the multi-action. All right, I'm going to need a fighting roll followed by an athletics roll on this one. So if I can get a D12 and a D6 from Jon Stone.
Wait, no, it's a
Fighting?
12, 6, sorry.
Yep, I remembered what you got. Even with the multi-action penalty, that is going to be more than a success. You rip that femur bone free,
Now, hold
smashing
on.
it into the skull.
Hold on, just
There we
the
go.
sound of the femur bone. Hold on.
Smashing it into the skull of the skeleton, caving it in. And then the athletics roll, I'll take another D12 and a D6 as you throw it like a tomahawk, as you explained. Unfortunately, it just whistles by. Wait, no, you've got a +1 bonus because it's athletics. And it strikes into the head of the second skeleton. 2 skeletons down for now, but even now they were already starting to form back together. And then are you getting into the boat or are you remaining on the island, John?
Is anybody else on the island still, or are they all on the boat now?
Glenn hasn't made it in yet, but Glenn hasn't gotten to act yet, so.
Okay,
And Glenn
I
has
stay.
a plan.
I stay near Glenn in case that she, gets jumped by skeletons.
Well, you seem to have downed the only 2 active ones on the island, and the flamethrower that Gabe has used has driven back the other ones. You do have an opportunity here, it looks like, to get on board that boat.
But John Stone wouldn't get on
Understood.
the boat without making sure all of his teammates are on the boat. So.
Glenn, what do you got?
Yep. Well, I am going to grab John Stone / Larry by the hand and be like, "Come on, buddy! I got a boom." And we're gonna jump in the boat.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna nudge Vector / Chuck and be like, "Let's go!" and cast Havoc at the same time that he hits the skateboard.
All right. I'm going to have Chuck roll that first, and then we're going to roll the Havoc. So you're using the gadget skill of Gabe, so I need a D8 and a D6 from Chuck attempting to force engage the jet-powered or rocket-powered skateboard as a propulsion device for the boat.
D8.
A D8 and a D6. That's 6 aces.
All right.
And it sputters for a second, and at first you think nothing's going to happen, and then it quickly engages and begins propelling the boat along, the bow of it rising up into the air from the speed being pushed behind it, catching into the current of the water being pulled out of this hole created in the side. And then I'll take that spellcasting roll from Princess Hedgehog, which I believe is a D12.
It is.
A D12 and a D6 from Princess Hedgehog, blasting forth with Havoc, sending the flame-driven back skeletons scattering into pieces, many of them, their bones flying across the lake chamber. And as the boat rockets out of the hole created by the dynamite blast, you can see several other of these skeletons have now engaged in combat with Sturms and Whitfields, who have blown their way into the cave, which look at you with their jaws hanging open as you rocket by, dropping about 15 feet to land into Dead Man's Cove and propel yourself along through the water. Within a few moments,
I'm
though,
gonna shout "Finders Keepers" as we pass. Finders Keepers, losers weepers. Yeah!
within a moment, though, that rocket-powered board cuts it out, and you're just kind of drifting on the initial inertia. And by then, you're almost to the mouth of Dead Man's Cove and into the open sea itself.
That was so cool, Gabe. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, it worked pretty well. Alabama engineering.
You should be
That's not-
very proud of yourself. That was really cool.
Thanks. Well, I mean, I had some ideas last night, and I'm just glad that we actually got some use out of them. And we got the treasure, and we're not dead. So
Yes.
that's pretty great too.
The ghostly form of Mr. Taylor appears on the boat near the treasure.
Nah.
This way! It is further. We must reach the wreckage. They will soon follow.
Mr. Taylor, when you disappear, I think we're gonna miss you.
Missing's
What?
pretty strong, but
I thank you for freeing me from this curse. You are truly, truly wonderful and gifted children to do such a great thing.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
And you move through the water, finally started to use the oars as you slow down a little, and the waves get a little choppier, and the sky begins to darken. A storm in the summer in Alabama. And the wind begins to pick up and howl, and on the wind, you swear you can hear a voice. Thieves! Thieves!
I mean, we're going to give it back, right? I mean, I know that wasn't the plan initially, but
Well, we're going to give
So-
it back and then take it again. But we gave it back first. That's what's important.
yeah, I mean, we'll be able to get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we'll have to do is be able to afford scuba gear.
Yeah, and find the spot again. But I mean,
That'll
we'll,
be easy.
We'll make it.
I
We can
believe
do
in
it.
us.
Yeah.
The ghostly form of Mr. Taylor turns to you. We're nearly there, just a little farther. And paddling along, the water gets even choppier and worse. And then you can hear a sound on distant, the sound of motors. And you can see two small fishing boats, motors attached to them, zipping through the water towards you. Sturms and Whitfields aboard them, leaning over the sides. Somehow, they instantly communicated to someone else and told them you had escaped. That's, how could they do that unless, it must be that twisted and evil galvanic collective. And as they get closer and closer, Mr. Taylor turns again. There, right here, below us, the wreck of the ship. Quickly, the treasure.
Goodbye, Millennium Falcon.
They can't get it.
I know.
It's
I
important.
know. But it's so shiny.
It really is.
So I grabbed the chests because I'm strong enough to pick up the whole thing by myself.
Even for you, Larry, it's heavy, but you can do it.
Yeah, because I'm still, Johnstone.
are.
And then drop it over the side.
It hits the water and begins sinking to the bottom. And after a moment, you see that the storm just dies down almost instantly. The water no longer choppy, the skies clearing, no longer dark, the wind no longer howling thieves, and Mr. Taylor fades away into nothing.
Goodbye.
Rip
I'll
Taylor.
miss you forever.
And you almost feel like a pulse echoing from the sea and through the land around and the air around. And particularly you, Princess Hedgehog, you can feel some form of magic just simply dissipating, leaving, a spell broken. And as that spell breaks, the Sturms and Whitfields getting closer stop. Their boats coming to an idle. And after just standing straight and staring at the lot of you for a moment, bolts of golden energy fly from their bodies up into the sky, disappearing. And within a few seconds, Sturms and Whitfields are looking at each other, very confused. And then within moments, they're right back to their feuding ways, punching each other, rolling in the boats, throwing each other overboard, and fighting with renewed fury, as though the feud never ended.
Well, that was fun while it lasted. I guess they're distracted now.
In
Yeah,
fact,
maybe we can-
they are. The Sturms and Whitfields don't even seem remotely interested in you at all anymore. They only seem to be interested in, well, killing each other.
Are there any park rangers?
I can.
What was that?
Are there any of the park rangers there?
The park ranger, no, he is still back in the cave. Also very confused. That is something else entirely. Won't be covering that here, but that's an incident in itself. The
I
Galvanic
do
Collective
have-
has been beaten again. This time it seems they were after cursed
The curse?
pirate gold.
I hate those.
Last
places.
time after something in a planet's core or near a planet's core. What is it that these Galvanic Collective are really after? I guess we'll maybe find out more in our next episode of The Reliables, because that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all of you for joining us on our episode today. I want to thank my cast for putting on a wonderful show, particularly the past 3 great episodes, showing you guys a little bit of Monster Hunters Club and the great setting that it can be for Savage Worlds. You guys should check it out if you're interested in playing the Savage Worlds game. As you can see from what happened, it is a really fun setting with all kinds of really great twists and turns involving playing 11-year-old kids and a really fun and wacky environment. I want you guys to make sure you check out the Reliables Twitter and the Reliables website. Make sure to check out Zoe Game Night. And while Void Jumpers is on a break this week, they did just have their season finale, so you can take your Wednesday time instead of watching Void Jumpers and actually, watch Void Jumpers and catch up on it. Watch the old episodes. Or watch some of the back episodes of the Reliables or Masters of the Metaverse or the other hundreds of thousands of hours of content on the Fantasy Network. Full of great stuff, all absolutely free. And of course, I want you to make sure that you tune in next week when we head to an all-new dimension with all new avatars to take on Nazis on Mars. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.
Punch and
Have a
go.
good day,
Be a
everybody.
Nazi.